Hello everyone, Dadrael here, and in today's episode I'm doing what's called practice games. Basically, I'm gonna try to go through all of these. I did do a recording on Havencraft, but it ended up getting something wrong, so I'll just skip this one and continue with you all. Now, let's begin with Forestcraft, a naturally quicker combo focused craft than mine is. So we will completely have to see if I can actually do this, considering they are beginner level. I have some hope, but I'm also not gonna say that I know anything. Now, let's see here. I don't really need two of these, so I can shuffle this away, and pretty good hand actually. Let's see here. I get turn one, so I can't play any of my cards. Here is what I was talking about, the combo. It, as you are reading while I speak, it's for you. It counts the number of cards you play this turn, and it triggers some of them. Now I will play my 2/2 and end my turn and hope it survives till the next turn so I can start. And that's the kind of cheeky stuff that I mentioned with combos. Anyway, I will now play Holy Shield Maiden and pass my turn. Now, I need you all to understand these are practice games. These are against AI. So they're nowhere near as powerful as what you would expect if you were to fight actual players, which is also why I have some hope that I can use this as a decent way for me to get better at the game while also entertaining you all. Now, yesterday's recording wasn't that long, and I apologize for that. I will try to keep them longer in general, but I also can't really promise too much right now. So I will begin by playing my Radiant Angel. I will destroy my Adventure skill to give them Rush so they can attack the turn they're summoned, but only the enemy followers. And because of Radiant Angel, Guardian Angel's effect, I have increased my life and hand. And also, as you may see, because this is a beginner bot, they only have 10 hit points, meaning I have the advantage in starting life. Now, I will play double Divine Guards to buff my card. I wished I would have hit one of these two, but that's just life for you. Now, I still want you to recommend games. I saw one of you recommend Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't have that game. So sadly, I can't do that. If I did have the game, I would have loved to, but I can't because I don't. So if you have any other recommendations, preferably games that I do own, which honestly aren't that many, or if you have a free game you want me to play, because I'm more than happy to play games you want, but I need to actually have them so I physically can. Also over here you can see their active combo account. And I'm aware that some of you have most likely already seen it, but just in case you didn't, I still feel it's safer to point it out just in case. Because as I am here to entertain you guys, it's good if you understand what's going on the screen. And to explain to you guys, I did used to play a lot of the original ShadowVerse. So that's why I know how a lot of these things are. I will now play Jon, Saintly Knight, to clear my opponent's field. I will... oh. I'll use this. I'll also use a Super Evolution Point to evolve her, so I can almost one-tap my opponent. And before I hear any comments saying that Havencraft is better than any of the ones I'm fighting right now, every group of cards in this game have their unique charms. There ain't necessarily any better or worse, but there also ain't necessarily like they're all equally powerful because they all specialize in different categories of playstyles. Now, mine usually focuses heavily on ward, which is the shield, or amulets, which are those cards I play that don't have life, that either go away after time or through other means. Now, I have officially, as you see here, cleared beginner Forestcraft and beginner Havencraft. So I will keep going through these and we will stop the moment I lose. And when I do, I will use the gold I have gotten to this point and through any quests I may have done doing so to open some packs together. Let's see if you bring me luck, shall we? Again, first turn. That's not really what you want to see when you're playing Havencraft. Okay, I can use this. Especially with this card. Now, another thing is I know my editing is raw right now, as in I'm not actively editing a lot, or anything basically. But that is because I am learning OBS and I am still looking for a software to use for base editing. And I rather see what my fans enjoy through this before I do something stupid like rushing, because I have no reason to just stress this. I'm here to entertain you, you're here to hopefully have a good time, and as long as you do, I've done my job. Now, I don't live alone, so you may hear things in the background, but there's sadly not much I can do about that. And as I mentioned that I would stop if I lose, I meant I will have to lose twice, because sometimes it's completely RNG based, and sometimes it's just I lack the skills or good enough cards to even have a chance to try it. I will now engage to call forth the Holy Flame Tiger and use my 2 beasts to destroy my opponent's field, while Ronavero, the Darkhaven Ward, resides within the darkness. Now, let's see here. I'll attack with Ronavero, meaning he loses his boost, and I will use the Darkhaven's Grace to buff this card. And yeah, that's about it for my old turn. That is a problem. I will play Featherfall to do 3 damage to all enemies and summon the Holy Falcon. It is now time for me to Super Evolve, and it is time to end this next turn. Is what I would have said if it wasn't Super Evolved, because this unique follower have the ability to attack twice. Now, I wish there was a way for me to, without having to go around, to just pick the next deck, but sadly I haven't found one. If any of you happen to know it, please do tell me in the comments below. And it is now time to see if I can actually beat Runecraft. For those of you who don't know, Runecraft focuses on two signature things that I've understood. Earthright, which is a kind of amulet sacrifice, and I finally drew my ace. Keep this out. And what's called spell boosting, meaning when they cast spells, like this one, they, well, actually that's not a spell, that is a actual. Never mind me. But if you cast spells, they will start spell boosting their hand. That is a spell though. That creates a creature. I will play Leia. I know she will be beaten, but I need to draw extra cards to set up while waiting to play either Amphibian Guardian, or my dear Wilbert the Desolate Paladin. Now, I'll use my bonus play point to cast the Winged Statue, and that's my turn. As you saw, I now have 3 of these cards in hand, which these look, they are legendaries, and they are some of the strongest cards in my entire deck. So if I want to win this, I'll have to rely on either be able to focus more heavily on my ability to slow my opponents down with amulets and ward. I will use my last play point to advance my Winged Statue by 1 and end my turn, because this is the Unholy Vessel, a special amulet of mine that can be engaged without paying play points. And by evolving her, I now lowered its cost from 6 to 5. So playing it, I get to clear all creatures on the field, mine and the opponent's. So it's not something I want to do just yet, but it is something I will do if I need to. Now by destroying this, I can get rid of my opponent's only follower, and we are now back in the game. Now, I should probably point out, I have played other of these clans before, but I'm only having this here. Now here is my main man, Wilbert. By evolving them, I get what's called a crest. Crests are down here, and this specific one means whenever a creature with a ward, as in the shield, enters the field, they get stronger. Well, not him, but everyone that appears now after I've evolved him. Which means I am getting closer and closer to being able to use my either, however you want to pronounce it, to full power. And I think it's time to do it. Arise. Those are some pretty lucky hits. I'll now play this, so I can buff Wilbert and destroy my opponent's only follower. They're spell boosting, but I will not fall to this if they don't actually play some more destructive on my board. And they did not. That is great for me. You know, when I'm playing this card, Wilbert will get stronger and finish the job. Now, the reason I'm not always mentioning the names of my cards is because, again, you can see them. And I rather talk to you guys than simply prioritizing mentioning the same cards. Now, this isn't a live, but if you guys enjoy this content of me playing ShadowVerse, even though I'm pretty bad at it, I will try to do a live in the future. I just need to fix my mic and everything, because I don't have a mic stand, so... And now I hear something outside. Don't worry about it. If you end up hearing it, I apologize, but I can't do much about it because it's not my phone. Now, let's see here. I will play the Darkhaven's Grace. So I am using both the Sanctuary and the Haven. And I should be able to get closer to... Interesting. I'll play my play points as I did and call for a second Sanctuary so I can increase my hand size. Interesting. By evolving her, I'll now use my last play point to speed my amulet up. And I'll now destroy the monster because I got barrier when you evolve, meaning the first damage isn't going through. Now that's a big dragon. That's a bit concerning for me, considering as you know, my creatures are usually more defensive than offensive. Now let's see. I'll play this, evolve them more normally, meaning I'm not getting the full power of it, but it's able to destroy their card, and I can now use Darkhaven to heal them, heal myself, and boost their attack power. Also, because the card I just played had Clash, the opponent leader, or the Avatar Galen over there, took the damage, not me. I'll play Apollo, Heaven's Envoy, my little angel, and I will simply make the angel able to defend themselves, and that will be my turn. I'm still on 6, so I can't quite play Yon yet. So, well, that's a problem for me. Let's see here. I will boost her again, and I will play Featherfall. And as you see, I'm doing better today than I did yesterday. But again, these are also weaker bots. And if you wonder why Leia can be played by the dragon guy, this is what's called a neutral card. While being an angel and being adorable, they're not technically a Havencraft card, neither of these two are. Because the neutral cards can be played by any of the card clans. So, yes, the Quake Goliath. Oh, interesting. It broke my barrier. Well, let's see here. What to do. I'll begin by having to destroy that. Not my finest moment, but I'll do what I have to in-game, that is. I'll now super evolve her. Activate Darkhaven's Grace on the field to buff her and heal. Not that I really can get more life. So I can get rid of this, and because I destroyed it with a super evolved creature, meaning mine hit first, and only it, I do a damage to the opponent player. Or in this case, bot. But it's important that you guys understand-ish what's going on, if this is to actually be entertaining. Let's see here. Well, that's basically a useless card for me right now. I'll play this. That's great. I'll now use both of these to buff Holy Shield Maiden, and I'll use Divine Guard again, so I can destroy my opponent's only follower, and I now have a pretty decent statted creature that can't be hurt once. Now at the end of the turn, Beautiful. I sadly can't get Wilbur's crest because I actually don't think. Wait, let me try something. I don't really know if super evolving him still counts as the evolution ability because I'm still too new to this game. Oh, it does. Okay, now that changes a lot of things for me. Because as you see, I mainly use ward creatures, and his insignia or crest is the key thing that makes my stuff really powerful if I get him out. But when he dies, when he is super evolved, or if it's just when he's evolved, I have to actually check that real quick. Wait. No, it just his normal last word. It just summons these two. I will now play Yon to just destroy some of my opponent's things so I can defend the Holy Land easier. Next, by doing this, I will boost these, and I can use one of them to destroy their god and the other one to the attack. But as you see, I don't have any orbs here in either one anymore, so I use both my normal and super evolutions, so I can't do that anymore this game, which is my only real problem right now. Because a lot of my abilities and options are heavily focused on if I have that. I will now make sure to buffer even more. And I will have them battle and battle with these. But that specifically that card, its health is too well massive for me to really have a decent chance of clearing him right now. And I know I could have most likely I know I could have just won there, but I'm trying to show more of Havencraft and my new skills instead of just speeding. But I'm gonna have you on the game now. Now let me just check something real quick. All right then, let's see. We're all actually almost at the same mark that I ended up at yesterday, because we are officially at 23 minutes. And oh, not story, practice. It is now time for me to do the next to last beginner trial. And this time it's against the heathens of the abyss. But I would love to hear your opinions both on my content, on the quality of it, what you want me to do moving onward, and such. Because you are the viewers, you are why I can do this. Now, don't fall for that succubus. They may be a slightly cute follower, but they are a one-cost card that gives them a second one-cost card that can heal them, which is a problem. And as you're noticing, the beginner decks are playing more neutral cards than just their own. Hmm. I'll then use my last points to advance both of them, so I'm getting closer to Holy Falcon. That's the bat I was talking about. It has terrain, so whenever I'll actually let me bring it up so you can read it. Explain it. If this creature attacks, I'm just going to explain it that way because after attacking, Restore defense to the follower's leader equal to the attack dealt, which is just 1 right now. And I don't want it to be able to attack to get anything, so I'm just going to do this. And play the Cleric of Crushing. Have both my eagles go for the attack. Or falcon, apologies. I'm not very good with birds. Now, this would have been a problem if I didn't actually have this already. There we go. And we're now done with the last, well, next to last beginner vault. I'll be real here. I know I had gotten a little better which I noticed during my practice game with the beginner Havencraft, because I was just reading my cards way more between recordings, and I understood the wording on some of them better. But I don't really think that I'm going to be able to beat all of the level 2 bots. There are up to 3 levels of them, but something tells me I'm not going to quite be able to beat them right now. But I can always pray. Ooh, nothing I can play on one. That is a problem. And I'm facing the puppet version of Portal. That's a bit of a problem. As I'll play my Box of Purity. You see puppets like this one, as I put up here. They are destroyed at the end of my turn, but they are good stats and have a bunch of cards that can create them. Anyways, I'll just use this to not heal a follower, because I can't, but it'll still heal me. Now I'll play the Holy Shield Maiden. I will buff her. That Bullet from Beyond destroys any follower, which is why I lost yesterday's recording. Now let's see here. I'll play Adventurous Skill to add a random follower in my deck. I'll also play this. That's my turn. That's a big problem for me. Or it would have been if I didn't have this right now. By paying all my points, summoning this, and then destroying it, I cleared the board. You see, puppets are powerful, but they can't attack players. They can only attack followers. Now let's see here. I'll play Agnes the Swiftblade. And I will Super Evolve her, because it is time for Divine Justice. By attacking and controlling 2 or more amulets outside, I destroy 1 random enemy follower except the one I'm battling. They really keep shooting, aren't they? Fair enough. By evolving my creature here, I can destroy an opponent's follower. Yes, when I'm saying creature or follower, I mean the same thing. Great, here, now I can show you what this card actually does easier. Storm means it can attack a player the turn summoned, Ward is just my defense, and Aura just means I can't target it. Doesn't mean I can't affect it with things though. Ooh, that's got pain. That's a problem for me. I'll need to see what I can do with these. And I won because they both hit the same one. We did it, guys. Beat the final beginner level 1. So now we can go to the next difficulty level. And as shown, each time I win, I get more gold. So it is now time for the first intermediate. And after intermediate, there is advanced. I can also fight copies of my own decks, but I don't really get money for that. I'll now, so if I really want to practice my own decks, when I have more active that can be played, I can try them against each other. But now it's time to face intermediate Forcecraft. And if I end up losing here, that's going to be quite embarrassing considering I was so happy that I got this far. I will keep Wilbert because I kind of want them for my main combo. Okay, good. I am player 2. Interesting, the same start. I play Serene Sanctuary. Pass turn. Smart. The skull symbol, by the way, means they have always means they have last words. I'll play Fox of Purity. He's gonna defend me, and fairies are kind of used to dumping into death, so I won't be too surprised if they did it something like that. Very well. I'll now play Pact of the Beast Princess. Engage this on my last point to draw 2 cards. And my hand suddenly got a whole lot better. Because Wilbert is really good, but if I want him to be really, really good, I need him to have ward. Well, other creatures have ward. But now we're playing Apollo, I'll do 1 damage to all enemy followers, board wiping. I'll also engage this, use to summon the Holy Flame Tiger, so it can start attacking next turn. And as you see, fairies, or pixies if you want to see the categorization here, have rush. They can attack the turn they're summoned. I'll now use my bonus play point so I can summon Wilbert. And I will evolve him to gain the Paladin crest. And Wilbur can only really attack creatures right now because it was turning summoned, so I'll use them to destroy the fairy. Because the other one really only has powers when it comes out. That's a big of a problem though. I'll play Leia. I'll buff her just to destroy a random enemy pixie. I'll attack with my other creatures, and I will end my turn here actually, because I want to use my bonus playing point next turn to call for Fionn, Saintly Knight. I don't actually know if Yawn is the right way to say it. If I'm just saying this completely wrong, and if I am, I'm so sorry for any viewer who may get annoyed by it. But also play her. I will super evolve her so she can attack this turn, and I win. Now that's the first intermediate Forcecraft enemy down. And we are reaching the 35-minute mark. Now I'm gonna try to get this to be an hour, but I might have to end it a bit early, depending on if the background noise gets too loud for me, because I have noticed my mic doesn't seem to have been picking it up yet, but I also don't want you to have to do it too much. So this isn't live, this is just a video. And I did post yesterday, so this is me trying to post a few times now, early on, really close together. But I will be trying to post at least one video every week, 1 to 2 videos is my main goal. But some weeks I will be able to post more or maybe less. But if I can't post, I will put it in my on my channel, telling you guys why, so you know where I am. Because even if there isn't anyone actually watching these moving onwards, you are still why I'm doing this, and I want you to know that I care for my viewers, even if it's not always easy to show. Now, this stack here might actually be where I lose, because that was way quicker than anything I could expect or plan for right now. So I will have to do this and evolve, just so I can clear this. So it can't be used once my barrier fails. Okay, the buffing over there is a problem. I will survive this turn, but it will still hurt. But I love that I have Salifa in my hands, because by playing her, I will heal a bit. Not a lot, but enough to heal and evolve her, just so I can destroy all my opponent's stuff. So I'll be able to rest slightly easier next turn. As you see here, Swordcraft has a lot of Rush and some Storm that are pretty cheap, which is why they're able to attack me like this. But I will play Radiant Guiding Angel, so I can heal 2, draw 2 cards. And I will also engage to heal her for 1, heal myself for 1, do some damage, turn out. I don't want them to die, because when they die, they get a 1/1 on the field. So, which is why I didn't play my Divine Guard. Now, I probably should have, but I prefer to not give my opponents as much free stuff as possible. So, anyways, it's time for some unholy holiness. By destroying my unholy vessel, I clear both fields. Now, that dog is a problem. Or it would have been if I didn't finally get 8. True, she not only buffs other followers, so I couldn't buff anyone with this, but I did clear a lot of enemies, so this will be good in the long run. I will now call forth Agnes the Swiftblade, Super Revolution. I will engage twice to buff her, and I will play Cerisa, and I will attack. My opponent lives on 1, but I have basically secured the win now. Goblin Foray that you just played is a neutral spell that costs, I'm not sure if it's 5, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it has someone's 5/1 cost goblins, so pretty good card. And I will defeat them with Holy Retribution. Now, I am having to listen to people in the background again, and they're being louder, so I might have to end it soon. I don't wanna, but that is life. Now, I have turned down the sound sensitivity as much as I can because I knew they would be here now. So I really hope it's good enough for you. It's time for the third intermediate. And it's actually a pretty good hand. I can keep it. And for those of you who don't know, keep is a term in Magic the Gathering, a different card game, where you just choose to not reshuffle your hand. And I play Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and this game, which is why I tend to randomly use that quote. So apologies if it confuses anyone, but that's why. I'll play Leia and Divine Guard so she can get slightly safer and we can clear the threat. And as you're noticing, the intermediate has 15 health, so the advanced should have 20 and be more of an actual player level. Because, well, as you know, every card type, as I mentioned, specializes in different areas, so some will be better and some will be worse at the same things. But mine is the best at self-healing, what I'm aware of, outside of using Drain, which is primarily a Bizcraft's move. I'll play Angelic Priestess, play this, buffer, heal myself and my turn. Now, if I wouldn't have had full health there and had half, I would have been dead. So I'm gonna have to really get serious here. Featherfall. Foresight is 1-cost card that draws a card. That's a problem. Now, what can I do? I can play this, heal myself, evolve, make her strong enough to clear this. But I will also use Darkhaven's Grace to buff her so she won't go down. I really don't like this. But I'll play Divine Guard. Perfect. Then I'll play Either or Aether, we don't know how to pronounce it, to increase my field, and then my turn. Now I am gonna do this, then I'm gonna quickly cut the video for a bit, as in I'm gonna pause it, so I may sound a bit more out of breath, I guess, later, because I need to go and do something real quick. And for that I apologize, but you guys won't really see much of a difference, but considering I want to be as truthful as possible without sharing stuff like my real name or where I live, yeah. Here is Wilbert. I will super evolve him because you can't go wrong with a strong ally. I will now attack with all of it and destroy their golden card and my turn. And I should be able to end this during my next turn, completely depending on how heavily spell boosted their stuff is. Well, that's quite the disappointment, but I will happily take a win. Just because I can, I'm doing this. Now that was another one down. Now I'll be right back with you, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. And we are back, everyone. Well, for you it would have been instantaneous, but we have officially beaten the third of the 7 intermediate. Let's get on with dragons. I also got myself something to drink, so my voice won't dry up. And I'll repeat, I am looking for a guild for my account here. I'll play my bonus point and instantly play both winged statues. Because the longer it takes them to do something is my best friend right now. So well, that's sad. Anyways, I'll now play double serene sanctuaries and use a play point to make one of those two engage. Hmm. I will now simply engage in my turn, and you are about to see 5 amulets together pop. And yes, you can only have 5 cards on the field, which is why they only got 3 goblins. Now it's showtime. I will now evolve Apollo, so we can clear those goblins. There we are. That's a pretty good card. I will prepare the unholy vessel for later. While I don't quite enjoy using the unholy vessel more than I need to, it is a really good card. So I will use it if there is a reason for it. Also, just to clear the board, Divine God. But as I stated, this is the fourth of them. 4 of 7. Now, I know I don't have music in the background like some people who record games like this, and I guess I am sorry, but I rather not get copyright struck. And since I don't have any music I can use yet, my videos will primarily be like this for now. But it won't be like this forever, so. I didn't have to do this, it's just me wanting to show how to get rid of a card with Intimidate. Now, we have officially beaten the 4th. And I feel like I'm on a roll right now, which is really nice after, well, everything, honestly. And as always, I'm not gonna ask or demand that you like or subscribe. If you like the video, then leave a like. If you want to follow me, then do it. It means the world to me if you do, but it's up to you. It shouldn't be up to me or any other YouTuber to tell you who you should subscribe or like. Though I will ask you kindly to please take a look at the channels I have linked on my YouTube channel, because they are people who are very dear to me, and they are very good content creators, or up and coming content creators, I should say. But just like me, they're just trying their hardest to just entertain people. So give them a chance. Who knows, you might like it. Okay, I'm gonna have to destroy these two now before they can start evolving to heal them up back up. Interesting. Featherfall and GG's. To the board. Sadly, my opponent lives on one, but you can't always win, right? Or at least not win effectively all the time. Let's see here. Well, this is quite the ironic hand. I'll just play either or Aether. Again, really confused how to pronounce this. Super Evolution, and I win. That was the fifth one down. There's only two left, as you see. But here comes my problem. I'm gonna have to fight Havencrafts. So this could either go one of three ways. Either I completely stomp the bot, it completely stomps me, or this is gonna be one very, very, very slow game. Ah yes, may the divine watch over you as well. Here now I have way more defenses set up. Doesn't look like a lot, but trust me on this, it adds up. Well, that was painful. By evolving Salifa, I can basically board wipe. And I'm back in the game. Perfect, I'm just setting up for later. I've got some really good creatures in hand, which is also really good. This is the perfect time to use Divine Thunder. And I'll now play my own Holy Shield Maiden. Then I'll have my Falcon sacrifice itself to stop him. I could easily have used the Adventurous Guild to do it with her, but I want to see if I can keep as many of my talismans around. Primarily as a little test of sorts. Hmm. I have really no reason to do much more. Because what is true that could evolve, I can't really attack or do anything with that right now, so it's better to wait. Well, that's rude. I'll also pop this just to buff them by 1. By evolving Ronavero, I can destroy an enemy follower. Darkest of Rites. Turns out it was option A, that I would stomp the bot. But you never really know before you try. And remember that for real life as well. If life's ever beating you down, remember it always equalizes. So I had a crap day luck-wise in this game yesterday, but today I'm doing way better. Sure, it might be more partly because I ended up trying harder now and actually reading my cards extra carefully just to understand the wording better, but it's also because of the cards I'm drawing. So just like in game, as it is meant, sorry, in real life. If you're having a bad time, remember it's always gonna equalize. If you're having it especially bad, it's gonna go back to being neutral or especially good for a while before it equalizes. Now, I know that some of you may think I'm just sounding like I'm trying to sound holier than thou, as they say, but that is actual life advice from me, Dadrael, to all of you. Things won't always work on the first try, and you may feel beaten down by the world. But just remember that you're not always alone because of it. That's something I had to relearn lately. So do remember that you're not always alone, and you most likely have someone you can trust, but you also shouldn't blindly trust anyone with your private real life information. Please, for everything holy, keep that in mind. I've had way too many friends, uh, just even relatives do that, ended up getting badly hurt. So do try to keep an eye on that, because no one wants to get hurt. I don't want you guys getting hurt either. You're the fans. You're why I can do this. Because to me, it doesn't matter if I earn money from this. Sure, it will be a lovely thing to do eventually, but my goal here isn't to earn money, it is to entertain you and everyone else who may be watching. Be it today, tomorrow, a year from now, I don't care. My end goal is just to entertain people. If I was only doing this for the money, let's say, why would I be here? it's easier to just get a physical job. It's because I'm here because I want to make you guys happy. I'm here for you guys, not myself. Now, I did actually look. Yesterday's video was about 28 minutes long, and over 2 hours of it's been watched. So a lot of people apparently watched it, but not all the way through. That's fine. I'm not gonna try to demand anything or expect anything. What's important here is that it shows me that what I'm doing here isn't a waste. It shows me that even one person like what I'm doing, and that's enough for me. And because I am so small, I also know that unless I got tagged as ShadowVerse by YouTube, because that's what I'm playing right now, people must have heard about me through friends or something and looked it up. And that means the world to me. Just knowing that almost makes me cry. Well, back to the card game. We are now starting the first game against an advanced AI. I will play Dark Haven's Grace. Gotta set up my amulets. Another reason why I keep saying that you're more than happy to request me to play a different craft type, which is use a different type of deck of these types I'm fighting right now, is because I know it can get kinda stale watching the exact same deck. And you do get cards from random, from the same set, from different card clans, I guess, or crafts. So I do actually have cards from the other one. And I'm always happy to try something new. Now, let's see here if I can do this. Well, not what I wanted to hit, but that's fine. That's just life. Nothing can always be good, nothing can always be bad. Now, it may feel like it, but doesn't mean it's true. Ooh. Now, let's see here. I'll play Apollo. I will do this and destroy this so I can attack with the Holy Falcon and time to start bringing this back. Because the moment I get Wilbert's crest is the moment where I can start doing some really fun stuff with my hands. And general deck, to be honest, so. And when Wilbert dies, I'll get 2 1/2s. That becomes, thanks to the crest, 2 4s. So it is worth it for me. Wait, what? Huh, just return it to the hand. That's both nice and incredibly annoying. I'll play this. I'll play her. He will become stronger, and I will then buff her to heal. And this is probably the strongest Leia Bellringer has been on my field for quite a while. Actually, it might actually be the straight strongest. She is usually killed pretty fast, so I don't really keep check on how strong she gets before that happens. Well, that's a problem. Anywho, let's have some fun with this. Reno Luxwing, Super Evolution. I also play my Cleric of Crushing and Serene Sanctuary. Now it is clobbering time. Ooh, that is getting annoying. Okay, I know what I must do. I don't like it, but no, I'm not gonna evolve. Sure, it would have let me play Domain Statue for free, but for pretty obvious reasons, I rather not right now. Didn't know they had a spell that healed them. Anyways. Ah, smart. Well, now John will completely wipe. Well, 2 random damage won't do much for them. I now play Wilbert. But because I am very interested in seeing if I can have more than one crest of the same type, because I've never tried this before. No, I can't. That's kind of sad, but understandable. I will simply do this and do 11 damage to a random pixie. And if anyone wonder why I'm so sad, it's quite literally just because it means I wasted an evolution point. Doesn't mean it's gonna matter much, but it's never good to take what's given to you for granted. Now I must thank you all for if you are still here, because we have officially reached the first time ever the 1 hour mark. We are actually about to be 9 minutes past it, but well, 8 minutes and 30 seconds soon. But I didn't have a timer set, but this means a lot to me if anyone is still here. Now, I'm not gonna expect anyone to be here. I'm not gonna demand anyone to be here. If I will say though, if I manage to beat all of these before losing, that's gonna be the episode for today. So in that case, next episode we'll be more focusing on trying to actually progress in the ranked. You are right, Marie. Let the righteous prevail. Doesn't mean I'm gonna let you win. You may be a bot, and I know I'm talking to a robot. But again, I'm also technically talking to viewers, not even sure if they're gonna be here. Now my life points don't quite appreciate being bullied. So let's see here. Ah, so it's this card that's he's stealing them. Noted. Now I'll play Salifa. and evolve her instantly to destroy my opponent's followers. I'll then do a single damage and then my turn. That is a really cool card. Huh. You know, if I do try Swordcraft, I feel like this would be a card I would try to get. I like War. Anywho, let's see what I can do here, shall we? I'll begin playing Angelic Prism. Now that right there is beautiful. I could evolve this, but I really don't want to. That's a problem. I do not want to deal with something like that right now. Let's see here. Well, that's a lot of really good cards being played. That's my first loss. Huh. Well, as I said, I would try twice. If I died, I would just rebattle. But if I fail again, then that's it. And I'm gonna leave the rest of the practice for another time. It could also just be the fact that Swordcraft is a bit too quick for me right now. So, as I was saying, maybe I need to focus more on the others. I can stop them before they can get a bunch of ward outs. Because my stuff primarily is ward and similar, meaning they are not heavy on damage. So I prefer if I could at least still fight back. Anyway, this is all I'm doing. That's annoying. Really annoying, actually. I'll evolve my Radiant Guardian Angel, Guiding Angel, sorry. And I'll use it to start to fight back. But all I need to do is survive till the next turn. This is gonna be my final trick for this turn. And you saw it here first, folks. I can't beat Soulcraft right now. I'm sorry, but that's just it for me right now. Let's see here. Ooh, free tickets. these are just used to draw new cards. I'll show you how that works now. If you go to shop, buy card packs. I only got 3 of these, so I can press these for free. Let's see what we get. Ooh, that's a premium card, or for those of you who don't know what that term means here, it just means it's animated. Hmm. That's actually really cool. And I got a animated form of Divine God. That's nice. Now, these are the 2 different ones here. This was free guaranteed legendary, so I'm gonna do 2 pulls here. So I get the free legendary. Let's see what I get. Hey, I mentioned I wanted that card earlier. And I got an animated Ghost Juggler. So the legendaries in this pack. That is a Bloodcraft unit for ghosts. And that's a cool unit for Spellcraft. And that is a Swordcraft card. And that is... Very well. I'll do the last pull I can do here. And yes, this button just skips the animation, but I like it. Now this is just really well made art. Let's see what speed I got. Okay, 90 of the different cards from the Legends Rise pack. Fair enough. You're about to see the completed amount of cards at 95 different types from Legends Rise out of 142, and over here I have 56 out of 77. Yes, I have cards like Odin. Oh, that's actually a really cool evolution. I also have cards like this, which I'm just not really using because I don't really know actually. But I did just see what the time is and how long we've recorded. So I think I'm actually going to end it here. So thank you all for watching. Have a lovely continuation to your day and slash or night wherever you are in the world. I love you all and goodbye. Dadrael out.